The following feature presentation is part of the Skywalking Network.
I think we should record and get this party started. This is what you can look forward to on episode 464 of Skywalking Through Neverland.
The fact that this beat out like every other adult novel, that's saying something.
Now, I do have to say that as we go through these issues, you can really tell that these comics are written by a bunch of men in the 70s.
Every midichlorian in our whole body is just gonna go, woo! I said Han and Chewie. Where's Chewie?
Who is that?
I did not expect this to go this way. What are your impressions of the first expanded Star Wars story?
Should have consulted with George.
Are you ready?
Off to Neverland.
Here we go!
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land.
When I first made Star Wars, everybody in Hollywood said, well, this is a movie Disney should have made.
You're more than just fans. You're family.
Best day ever!
Secrets loud.
It's about family, and that's what's so powerful about it.
Hey.
When you use a bird to write with, it's called tweeting.
When we visit the world of Disney, we never grow old. It's a Peter Pan, Never Land that keeps us young in heart.
This is Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you are skywalking through Neverland. I have a good feeling about this.
Hey, Skywalkers! Do you recall the first ever expanded Star Wars universe story? Long before Thrawn, Mara Jade, and even Exar Kun, there was Crimson Jack, Serji-X, and Jaxxon. If you know, you know. And soon, you will know. But first, we want to welcome you back to Skywalking Through Neverland. I am Richard Woloski, and now everyone please say hello to my sweetie wife Sarah, the marathon girl.
Yeah, that's right. I'm in training for that Halloween half marathon, and I'm really kind of nervous about it. So I'm trying to be on my game because we have a real busy summer coming up. So I'm like, okay, if I can train before the summer, then it'll somehow work out that I'll be fine in September.
Yeah, you ran, 8 miles yesterday without any problem?
I ran 8 miles yesterday, all while watching the movie Mean Girls, the musical, which is a really great movie to run through. And it took all the way through the credits to get 8 miles for me. Ooh. So, but I did it. And now today, my legs are great. They're doing good. So I'm very excited about this.
So when you're running your Halloween marathon,
yes,
normally you got to have your earbuds in and listening to music. And
right.
You can listen to monster music. But if you have that Mean Girls soundtrack, that'll motivate you.
Well, but also the Halloween half marathon, when you're actually doing that, there's the streets of Anaheim come out to cheer you on.
Very true.
And it's way more inspirational and fun than running on a treadmill, So, yeah. But I do like running on a treadmill because I have my water right there. I got my sweat towel right there. And
the bathroom's right there.
And the bathroom's right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
instead of using the porta potties.
And a half marathon, if anyone doesn't know, is 13.1 miles. So
needless to say, it'll be Sarah, not me.
Yeah, so
I'll be cheering her on from the treadmill.
It's true. It's very true.
But you're doing very well, so we can't wait to follow your progress.
Yeah, I'm excited.
We'll watch your career with great interest.
Oh, thank you, Palpatine. I understood that reference.
Yes, you did. Of course you did.
Mm-hmm. We are your enthusiastic podcast destination for the many decades of your Star Wars, Disney, Marvel, and pop culture fandom. So it's time for your weekly Wookiee hug and your little sprinkle of pixie dust for our family of Skywalkers. Now, we are live on the Skywalking Through Neverland YouTube channel right now, and live on X and live on Twitch, wherever you want to join us, and on Facebook. But it really helps if you subscribe specifically to our YouTube channel.
Which, yeah, if you please subscribe, and then you'll get the notifications. You'll know when we're going on at the last second.
Yep.
Which, during the summertime, just to forewarn you, we'll be going on with very little notice. When I say very little notice, I mean no notice. Mm-hmm. And last week, we'd asked the Skywalkers, once again, can you please get us to another tier on YouTube for our subscribers. And every week we ask the Skywalkers, and they always come through. And we asked, can you get us to 8870? And guess what? They got us there.
Oh, they did it! That is exciting.
They got us to 8870.
Wow.
Okay, so what do you think? Next week, can you get us to 8875?
Let's do it.
Our goal is to get to 8900 by
in 2 weeks.
Comic-Con Revolution, which is this weekend.
This weekend.
I know it's a pretty big ask to get us to 9000 by Houston Comicpalooza, which is the weekend after that. But you know what? I'm putting it out there. So far, they haven't been letting us down. So you know what? Doesn't hurt to ask.
Yeah. Well, in this episode, we break down the first ever Star Wars Expanded Universe story. This was in 1977. Marvel Comics furthered their Star Wars comic series after the immense popularity of the film, of course. And coming up, we will go over this story and reveal lots of FTOOM Fast Facts and give lots of behind-the-scenes fun nuggets of information. And we will also be joined by Cary Gordon, who is the podcast manager at Comicpalooza and also the co-host of the Metal Geeks Podcast.
All right, now we are being sponsored by Small World Vacations, and they are a diamond-level Disney vacation planner travel agency and can help you book your trip to a Disney park around the world or on a cruise, a Disney cruise. And best of all, this service is free of charge. So check it out at smallworldvacations.com for a no-obligation price quote and tell them Skywalking Through Neverland sent you. Or whisper Skynet.
Skynet. We want to hear that in the comments, everyone. Skynet. All right, we are recording this episode from Long Beach, California on May 12th, 2024. So, Richard, what happened today in Star Wars history?
A lot happened today in Star Wars history. Now, I'm gonna narrow it down to a couple of the book tie-ins to Return of the Jedi.
Ooh.
Yes, the novelization by James Caan is released this day, May 12th, 1983, 41 years ago. The nation's largest bookseller, B. Dalton. Ever go to a B. Dalton? They were big back in New England.
I did.
They reported that they sold more copies than any other book in the chain that the chain has ever carried.
Wow.
That's saying something, because B. Dalton went back. They got a great history, and I know that Return of the Jedi was their biggest book of all time at that time.
So this would be like, what, about 2 weeks before the actual film was released?
Yes.
Oh, well, no wonder.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't care about spoilers back then.
Spoiler, no. Mm-mm.
No, they're like, here you go, here's the movie.
PM Magazine, which was like an Entertainment Tonight kind of magazine in the Boston area, they spoiled everything like the week before Return of the Jedi came out.
What?
And they
wrote like a review?
No, they did it on air. Whenever something was on television having to do with the Return of the Jedi, of course, we all watched it because we couldn't record it and watch it later. It wasn't going to be on YouTube, so we watched it. There was no spoiler alert. There was no nothing. And we didn't have remote controls, so we had to sprint to our Zenith to change the channel or turn down the sound. But they went through everything in like bullet points.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible.
So it wasn't like, okay, first, Luke and Leia are sisters, and
our siblings.
Your siblings, yes. Yeah, I'm getting so aggravated just thinking about this. And I think it was Tom Bergeron that was the host of this PM magazine.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so Tom, I'm coming for you. But you know what? We're getting off on a whole different tangent of vendettas.
Yeah, so what else happened on May 12th?
Or also, the Return of the Jedi storybook is released.
Yeah, not only is this the first children's book to occupy the #1 spot on the hardcover fiction bestseller list, but it is the best-selling fiction book of 1983.
And look, here's mine.
Aww.
There's mine right over here.
Now, wait a minute. So, if the Return of the Jedi novelization sold the most copies, how is it that not the best-selling fiction book?
That was for B. Dalton.
Oh.
The Jedi storybook still went to #1, but this is the first children's book to occupy the #1 spot on the hardcover fiction bestseller list. There's like all different tiers in the New York Times bestseller list.
Oh, okay, got it.
The fact that this beat out like every other adult novel, that's saying something.
That is.
And this is my original book.
Oh my goodness. Can I touch it?
No, you cannot touch this. All right, this is mine. And it kills me that I can't get this Wallen book.
Oh
this
no!
sticker, this price tag on it.
I hate when they do that.
Yeah.
And it's not like that easily take offable. I get why they do that. So like you're not walking out with a stickered book, but
yeah. But you know what? Even back then in '83, I bought the books, but I didn't read them.
Oh.
Because I didn't read back then, and plus I didn't want to know what happened. But yeah, so these two books came out on this day, and that was May the 12th, 1983.
Okay.
Well, let's shout out one more thing that happened on this day in 1983.
What?
Domhnall Gleeson was born.
Hey, he's like in my age group. That's cool.
Yeah, so he was born the same day all these Return of the Jedi tie-ins came out.
Gosh.
And we all know Domhnall Gleeson as being the actor behind General Hux in the Star Wars sequels, and he also played his character in Resistance, and he's in the attraction Rise of the Resistance. Mm-hmm. That's a pretty big get. If you're an actor,
that's a good triptych. There, you're in a Disney park.
Yes,
and not to mention he's also part of the Harry Potter universe,
and he's also now part of the Office universe. Peacock is doing the follow-up to the show The Office because it's so successful.
Oh,
so Domhnall Gleeson will be one of the leads.
Wow,
in the new Office series.
So that was actually confirmed.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, and just to give you a little background on the new series, it's not Dunder Mifflin, none of the same characters.
Okay.
It takes place in the Midwest around this fledgling newspaper.
Oh.
Because newspapers are dying, so you're following this staff trying to keep this newspaper up. And so we're not following the characters, but we're following the crew, the documentary crew that shot The Office. Now we're going to follow that same crew to shoot behind the scenes of this newspaper plant.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's a fun twist, isn't it?
That's a good spin. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. And I'm sure we're going to see some of the Dunder Mifflinites pop up here and there.
Okay. And happy 41st birthday to Domhnall Gleeson.
Mm-hmm.
Domhnall. Is it Domhnall? Okay.
Yes. All right, now with that, let's welcome Cary Gordon as we break down the first Star Wars Expanded Universe story by Marvel Comics.
Skywalking through classic Marvel. Skywalking through classic Marvel Comics.
We are so excited to not only break down the Marvel Comics Expanded Universe story that kicked off hundreds of novels, comics, and video games into the Star Wars saga, but we have our good friend Cary Gordon here with us now.
Cary is the podcast manager at Comicpalooza. He's the co-host of the Metal Geeks Podcast and also a past guest on Skywalking Through Neverland to talk about the monkeys.
Hey, Cary!
Hello, hey.
So we're going to try to figure out a way to roll the monkeys and metal into the same genre.
I do it every day. It's a natural progression for me. It's okay.
I'm sure someone out there has already rolled in like Warrant with the monkeys or Strider or Cinderella with the monkeys.
Surprisingly, there's been a fair amount of heavy metal covers of monkey songs. So
are you kidding me?
What?
I'm not kidding you. Yeah.
Oh,
I'll have to send you some links and you could check them out.
I did not expect this to go this way.
Yeah, I'll have to send you those links. You'll be surprised.
Well, this is taking a whole new direction. This is a whole different show now.
Right?
I'll say.
But once again, thank you for joining us. This is going to be a really fun episode. And
thank you for having me back.
We want to thank you for bringing us to Comicpalooza Houston in just a couple of weeks. This is the convention that's going on May 24th to the 26th weekend. The real Star Wars weekend.
That's right. 'Cause
Yes.
May 25th.
Yeah, that is true.
Yes.
Is that Saturday, right?
Exactly.
Wow, Saturdays this year are like all Star Wars holidays.
Uh-huh.
May the 4th was on
Oh.
Saturday. Now May 25th is on Saturday.
We
Amazing.
I saw the May the 12th be with you special on
The Simpsons.
Simpsons last
Yes.
night. That was fun.
We're gonna party like every midichlorian in our whole body is just gonna go woo, raise the roof.
That's right.
Now tell us about this convention, about Comicpalooza.
So, speaking of Star Wars, we can talk about that real quick. One of our guests is Vivian Lyra Blair, who is young Princess Leia on Obi-Wan. So, that's going to be fun. She's going to be. We have a lot of different guests this year. Star Trek guests. We have Anson Mount, Rebecca Romaine, John Cena, if you can see him. Well, I haven't heard that joke before. And we have some of the Back to the Future cast. Like we have Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd. It's going to be a good weekend.
Also for Office
plus
fans.
you guys.
Oh.
Hey. And yeah, Office fans. We have 3 cast members from The Office. We have people from Charmed. We have some legendary comic book creators. Stan Sakai, who created Usagi Yojimbo. Chip Zdarsky, who I'm excited for. One of my favorite writers and artists. So there's a lot of good stuff coming to the show.
Now, what is your main function at Comicpalooza?
So I'm the podcast manager, director, whatever you want to call it. Is a program that I started. It's been over 10 years now. Just a way to support local podcasters and other podcasts. We were one of the very first shows to really have a program for podcasting. We gave them their own stage. Ming Chen from Comic Book Men, he has a shared universe, his podcast network. He's been an integral part from the very, very beginning. What we try to do, we open it up to the public. A lot of local shows and now other shows from out of Houston they apply, they go through a process of being accepted, and then they get to do live shows. We have special programming, like, Podcasting 101. We have Pod Houston, which is a community group that does stuff. And then we've been trying to bring in specialty shows like you guys. I think you're perfect for what we do at Comicpalooza. You cover all the bases that we have at the show,
Aww.
Yeah, Star Wars, Disney, Marvel. We'll be doing a whole bunch of panels, and I can't wait. I think we threw like 30 panels at you and said, "Which ones can we do?" You said, "Do them all." It's like,
yeah.
Uh-oh.
So, which is cool because you guys, we have. It's not just celebrities and stuff like that all weekend. There's so much other things to do. There's special attractions. There's a kid area. There's the like Atasha Showdown, which is a bunch of really cool looking cars. There's programming all weekend. There's a rave. There's wrestling. There's cosplay content. There's a lot of stuff. So you guys were generous enough. You're doing actual programming in the kids area, which is really cool, in Kidtopia.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
That'll be fun.
We look forward to that.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. And this is just over 3 days?
Over 3 days, yeah.
You sure that's not a typo? Is that supposed to be 3 weeks?
There's a lot of going on.
Entertainment.
Yeah. It really is.
Well, we so look forward to all of the programs. I've never been to Houston before, so this is going to be a blast for me. If we can turn down the temperature a little bit.
I don't know if I can promise that. It's getting high up there again. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, we're going to be in a
We're
convention
going to be
center.
in a very cold convention center. Okay, I'm fine
We're all
with that.
set with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
I
fact,
don't think you're going to be outside very much.
Okay.
all right, good.
That's how we like it.
Yeah. Car to the convention center to the car to the airplane. We're good. Now, we're going to be doing a more in-depth version of this classic Marvel Star Wars comic breakdown that we're doing today. So, if you want to see more of this, join us at Comicpalooza Houston, and we'll put the website and our schedule in the show notes.
Very cool.
All
I'm
right.
excited for you guys to be there. It's gonna be a good weekend.
Oh,
Yay.
it's going to be a blast. Remind me to pack the Nodos. And lots of coffee. All right, so now with that, let's travel back to 1977 and find out what happened after Han and Luke got their medals on Yavin 4. Now, Cary, did you read these comics when you were a kid, or the storyline?
I actually still own every single issue of this comic series.
Wow.
Most of them from my childhood, actually. Yeah, all 107 issues.
When was the last time you went over this particular arc, which is the first story arc in Star Wars history.
That's right, because the first issues were just from basically the movie.
Yeah, it was the adaptation.
Yeah,
issues 1 through 6.
It's been a long time. I'll be honest with you. 30 years, maybe plus.
Oh,
wow!
This will be really fun because you get to see how the Star Wars universe expanded from here.
I just exposed my age, didn't I?
It's okay.
You know what? You're still younger than me, so you're fine. Now, this 4-part story arc can be found in the issues New Planets, New Perils, 8 for Aduba 3, Showdown on a Wasteland World, and the Behemoth from Below.
Now, with so many dangling story threads, like finding a new rebel base and rebuilding the Empire, and of course Luke's Jedi training, this story arc continues Han Solo's story and how he still owed Jabba a lot of credits, and no Rebel Alliance could protect him.
All right, now, starting this new story arc with Han and Chewie made a whole lot of sense because Marvel could do so much more with these characters, whereas Luke and Leia, they were responsible for the rebellion, and they were central to finding a new rebel base, which was going to be the basis for the sequel.
Right.
And come on, it's Han and Chewie.
Everyone wants to see them, right?
Exactly, yeah. Now, George Lucas was prepping The Empire Strikes Back during this time, so the Marvel team had free range up to a point as to where they could go. Now, Lucasfilm did give them a list of storylines they could not tread, like more of Vader, his background, more of Luke's training, because those were going to be in the sequel. Then came Jaxxon Gate. Now, it's common knowledge that Lucas did not like this green space bunny and red spandex. So in the Empire Strikes Back era, Lucasfilm paid more attention and influenced the direction.
And what could and could not be done?
Yeah.
What, Cary?
They finally brought Jaxxon back, though.
Yeah, they did.
they snuck him in every once in a while Lucas was still head of Lucasfilm. And afterwards, like, okay, Jaxxon for everybody.
They learned they can merchandise him.
Right? Yeah. So,
yes. Why? Yes.
Yeah, you have
yes.
your. Oh, there you go. Mine's still in the box. Yeah,
let's see.
It's a great figure.
He's so cute. Oh, yours is still in the box. Wow.
See, I told you I should have kept mine in the box.
No.
You should play with them.
Yeah, you should play with it. Cary, do you like Jaxxon? Did you like Jaxxon back then?
I did. Yeah, he was one of my favorite new characters back in the day. That was like that weird era in like 80s where there was a lot of anthropomorphic characters.
Yeah.
Like Usagi Yojimbo, and then like Captain Carrot, if you remember Captain Carrot.
I don't.
These are the characters that really appealed to the Star Wars audience. A green bunny rabbit. Every kid loved Bugs Bunny at the time. I'm not sure kids these days know who Bugs Bunny is, but he was like Bugs Bunny anti-counterpart. And he wore a fun red spacesuit. He looked like Mork.
Ooh.
You put Mork and you put Bugs Bunny into one, and you get Jaxxon.
He just needs some suspenders, some rainbow suspenders.
Give him the Grinch color, and he's good.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
All right. Well, Lucas did not like Jaxxon, but I guess he did like Hoojibs, since they were main characters starting in 1981.
Yeah, he had no issues with the Hoojibs. God love him.
All right, so we're gonna give a summary of this 4-issue story arc before we dive in. So after the award ceremony on Yavin 4, Han Solo and Chewbacca head out to pay their debt to Jabba the Hutt, but they are attacked by pirates led by Crimson Jack. Oh, I love Crimson Jack and his unitard.
It all comes down to the unitards and spandex bodysuits.
Yep. All right, well, with their reward money from the Rebel Alliance stolen, the smugglers then decide to lay low on the planet Aduba 3, and there they take a job defending a moisture farmer from a local gang known as the Cloud Riders. However, they can't defend the village alone, so they hire several mercenaries, including Jaxxon. Now, during the Cloud Rider attack, the Behemoth, a giant reptilian monster, is summoned, and Han Solo may be the village's only hope for survival. Now, this arc was written by Roy Thomas, Howard Chaykin, and Donald F. Glut.
Does that name sound familiar?
Howard Chaykin I've met.
Oh, of course.
I've had him sign some of my early copies of Star Wars.
Was he in a good mood?
It was Howard Chaykin. He was shaking it.
That says it all.
We had Roy Thomas one time as well. Yeah, he was really nice.
Oh, I can imagine. But Donald Glut, he is the author of the Empire Strikes Back novelization.
Oh, yeah.
And
okay.
It wasn't until we started breaking down these issues like, wait a minute, this can't be the same Donald Glut. This is awesome. We met him at a friend's party, at Craig Miller's party a couple of years ago. We're talking to him, and
that's
I didn't even
right.
know it was him. And he mentioned something about writing The Empire Strikes Back. It's like, wait a minute, you're not Lawrence Kasdan. You're not Lee Brackett either. I said, are you Donald Glut? He said,
Wow.
yes, I am.
Now, I do have to say that as we go through these issues, you can really tell that these comics are written by a bunch of men in the 70s.
I didn't get that at all.
I'm just saying. And men artists in the 70s too.
Yeah, who are the artists here?
All right.
I mean, that's all comics, though, right? In that time?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Well, the artwork is by Howard Chaykin, Frank Springer, Tom Palmer, and Alan Kupperberg. And yeah, they studied some anatomy.
They also studied Akira Kurosawa because some of the influences in these issues come right from Akira Kurosawa's Seven Samurai.
Look at the cover of issue number 8. It's completely.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That is the Seven Samurai. And knowing Lucas is a big fan of Akira Kurosawa, they said, "Hey, we'll throw in Jaxxon and Seven Samurai. Hopefully they'll balance."
That makes a lot of sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, you get a huge from that Behemoth. You get like huge Godzilla vibes, right?
Yeah, and right at this time, Marvel was producing a Godzilla King of Monsters comic series, which was doing very well. So adding in a Godzilla clone was a very safe bet. But still, Lucas is like, all I'm looking at is that giant green bunny.
Well, maybe the comics were interested in starting a whole multiverse crossover with the
Godzilla,
King of the Monsters,
and the Behemoth. You throw the Zillow Beast in there. Marvel, are you listening? We're just giving you these ideas. All right, with that, I think we are prepped and ready to dive in. All right, now this is the issue New Planets, New Perils, which was published October of 1977.
And we do have to say, this is issue 7 of the entire Star Wars Marvel Comics run.
Yes.
So, wow.
And right at this time, I was running around in my Darth Vader Halloween costume.
What were you doing, Cary?
I was 3 years old when this came out.
I was not born.
Yeah, we know, okay? We know. All right, now, this story opens as Han Solo and Chewbacca are saying their farewell to Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia. Han is to get back to Tatooine to pay off Jabba the Hutt, and Luke and Leia, they get to stay behind and help the rebellion scout a new home planet for the rebel base. Now, Leia confirms to the readers that Darth Vader is still alive, and once he establishes himself with the Empire, the Yavin system will no longer be safe. At this point, the Yavin system is not safe. As soon as Darth Vader got away, that was the moment you should be packing your bags.
All right, I have a question now. So, I mean, I think A New Hope makes it pretty clear that Darth Vader survived.
Yeah,
because
he
it was
flew
flipping
away.
around, and then it like stopped flipping, and he was okay. But
he was in that washing machine type.
Yes, exactly. And was this like the first moment that we really, got complete confirmation that he was alive?
From seeing Star Wars, yeah, because he flew away.
Right. Okay, but so the comic just makes that even more clear. I suppose.
So Princess Leia, she's confirming to the readers once again, since in 77 we couldn't stream Star Wars or put in our DVDs or Betamaxes or VHSs.
Right.
We had to go, wait a minute, did Darth Vader survive? So now here she is confirming that Darth Vader did live.
Okay, I see. Okay, cool.
All right, now, along the way to pay back Jabba, the Millennium Falcon is captured by space pirates in a hijacked Star Destroyer. And who leads the space pirates but the red-bearded man in a tight black spandex leotard? Crimson Jack.
I love this guy.
Okay, let's take a moment and just appreciate Crimson Jack.
His beard is, like, amazing.
Yeah.
I want to take a moment and notice, I don't remember this as a kid, of course, but a lot of the artwork, it was Chaykin, right? It's so Jack Kirby-esque.
Yeah.
Like the space scene that you just showed, I'm like, that's just Jack Kirby's design right there.
Okay, does he specialize in spaceships a lot?
Not spaceships, but like just cosmic type of stuff. Like the panel was like all the black dots and the pink.
Okay.
That is totally his design.
Nice.
Which is great. Little homage there.
Awesome. And Chewie has like eyelashes.
Chewie looks like from the holiday special.
Yeah, he looks like
doesn't
Mala.
look great.
He looks like Mala.
Yes,
Yeah.
he does. All right, now, without so much as a fight, Han gives up the reward he just got from the Rebel Alliance.
That's
That's
right.
not the Han Solo I know.
Mm-mm.
Now, there's a FTOOM Fast Fact here, and this is where we pause to give behind-the-scenes nuggets and additional information. Now, in 1997, there was a 5-part comic miniseries, Rebel Thief, by Ryder Wyndham.
Oh.
And here, Han claims he returned his reward money back to the Rebels.
Oh.
And
Which seems odd.
Yeah. So I think I'm going with the Marvel Comics outline, their story.
Like he took the money, but then it was immediately stolen.
Yeah, but he's not going to tell anyone. Yeah, some pirates boarded and we gave back the money without a fight. He's like, no, I gave back the money. So either it was.
I think he gave back the money to impress Princess Leia.
Exactly.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, look what I did.
Either it was stolen or he gave it back. There's still a price on his head by the time we see The Empire Strikes Back. So the main point is the money never got to Jabba the Hutt.
Right.
All right, now, not having the money to pay back Jabba, Han says, without that treasure, Jabba will soon have a price on our heads that'll make us the target of every bounty hunter this side of Aqualay.
Wow, I thought Harrison Ford was actually really here for a second.
I know, but Cary, it's me. It's me. Yeah,
wow.
that wasn't Harrison Ford. That was me.
All right, now this.
Yeah, we could actually understand you a little bit more.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
That's it right
Let's
there.
get on with it.
All right, FTOOM Fast Fact.
Oh, another FTOOM Fast Fact.
Another one. Aqualay was one of the first planet names seen in the first draft of the Star Wars story treatment, all the way back in 1973. So that's really cool. And in the shooting script, Luke referenced Aqualay, but then the line was cut out, as happens. So it shows you how Roy Thomas probably had like this list of planet names that were taken from a script, and he could reference them.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. He's like, okay, if it's not going to use it in the movie, let's take out all these character names or planet names, and we'll just throw them in whenever we need.
I appreciate that because they could have just gone off on their own and done whatever, but they were actually still trying to keep it canonized and then all those little tidbits like that. It's very interesting. I never paid attention to that.
It's kind of like when you read the books that like you see a movie first and then you read the book and then you get like so much more information from the book because they have more time to lay that out.
Marvel could have just promoted something else like the Planet of Spider-Man. No, a whole different Spider-Man. We're not promoting our Spider-Man comic series.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, so
the Planet of Brooklyn.
Exactly.
Queens or something. Yeah.
So highest regards to Roy for taking that step. All right, now back to where they started. Han and Chewie lay low on a Duber 3. The pair make their way through a deserted spaceport only to find a group of citizens surrounding an insect priest on a bantha that is pulling a coffin.
Now, I want you guys to notice like this world building that Howard Chaykin doesn't use the Cantina aliens in the crowd, but he uses all new designs. Now, at this point, do you think they've created this comic before Star Wars came out? Or
if this
after?
came out in October,
Must be after.
Which means they probably were writing it in August.
Right.
So they had seen them, they had the movie, they had reference stills.
Okay.
So they could have used the Cantina
Yeah.
creatures, but I love the world building here because we don't see any of those Cantina creatures that you would think that we're going to put in all of those because that's the scene that everyone loves. So we're going to tie this in to the film.
That little blue guy in the middle panel does look a little like Snaggletooth, but
He does.
Yeah.
I think he's the only one.
Yeah, the rest are like totally different. I mean,
But the guy above him with the long green neck,
Yeah.
he looks like...
he looks a little like E.T., honestly.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah, just not as wide of a face, and he's a different color. Huh.
Okay.
He was trying to phone home that day.
Like, guys, I came to the wrong planet.
He phoned a Duba 3.
Yeah. And the guy next to him looked like he got punched in the mouth way too many times.
Yeah. So Han says that he can't identify the exact religion of the insect priest. And then he says, I guess I shouldn't have... Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This is my turn, okay? Han then says, I guess I shouldn't have skipped so much Sunday school as a kid. What does that say to you? That Sunday school is canonized back in 1977.
But what religion?
The Force.
The Force.
The Force.
Now, at this point, all my
they
friends...
forced you to go to Force Sunday school.
I would have gone to that. And all my friends were going to Sunday school. And, I was like, every Sunday morning, I woke up and I was sick, so I couldn't go. So, but if I had read this back in 1977, it's like, Sunday school, yeah, I want to go see Han Solo.
But that's the problem. You didn't read these comics. You just looked at the pictures.
Exactly, yes.
All right. Well, so meanwhile, the citizens all around are shouting, he ain't putting no Borgs in our mound. Wait, what?
Did he just say
Borg?
Borg?
Like, are they talking about this Borg? All right.
Ernest Borgnine, maybe?
I don't know, but look at this design. Okay, so this is 11 years before Borgs were invented for Star Trek The Next Generation. And I really feel like perhaps the people creating Star Trek kind of looked at some of these pictures and were like, there's a inception of an idea there, because they've got that
metallic arm, metallic body.
And the half face, like the face, even the face, it's got like a round eye hole on one of the eyes, like the Borgs have.
Yeah.
So,
True.
So maybe that guy shouting was like, "Hey, we can't cross the streams with the franchises.
Yeah.
So bury your Star Trek figure, your character somewhere else." All right, now Han and Chewie intervene.
Yes.
Wait a minute. I said Han and Chewie. Where's Chewie?
Who is that? How'd that get past QA?
Okay, we gotta bring this to Howard Chaykin and say, explain yourself.
Yeah, this is bad.
And some editor is like, yeah, you know what? Good enough.
Yeah.
Good enough. There's no hair on the whole face.
No podcast in 47 years is gonna pick this apart.
Wait, and then his hair. So Chewie's hair, it looks like he's got a buzz. What is that? A buzz cut? What is that cut?
Yeah, a flat top.
A flat top. Thank you.
But it looks like it's sort of coiffed up. It's like
yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah, that's like
a lot of hair product going on there.
A lot of 80s hair for Chewie there. All right.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
I think he was trying to draw him as he was jumping down or something, so his hair was sort of like floating up, maybe, because I don't know.
No, I think you may be right.
Are you a Howard Chaykin apologist?
No, but yeah, never do that again.
Now
we don't need to see Chewie's skull.
Wait, before we go on, I have a question about Chewie's bandolier. Is it on the correct shoulder?
Yeah, the left shoulder.
It is, okay.
So they got that right.
Okay, got it.
See,
1 out of 3.
Oh, okay,
left shoulder, yeah.
1 out of 3.
Hey, good for pointing that out.
Oh yeah.
and going with the what do they do right?
Yes. All right. Well, here, the insect priest, he gives Han a sack of credits to give the Borg a proper burial, though the citizens don't want this cyborg buried on their sacred mound.
Now, Han doesn't really care what they want. He jumps on the bantha and off they go.
Yep.
If you're going to pay me, I'll do it. He doesn't care about the citizens. However, these citizens, they aren't too happy and hurl stones at Han and Chewie and demand, "Go on back where you came from, you dirty Borg lickers." That needs to be a t-shirt. That needs to be a t-shirt.
Oh my God.
Go back to where you came from.
You have 2 weeks. You should make that.
That's so great. That's gross.
Well, with that, another fight breaks out.
Yeah, look at this.
Calling me a Borg licker. You know what? Call me a Trekkie before you call me a Borg licker.
Yeah, but you know what? Han and Chewie hold their own, and the ruffians soon scurry away as the insect priest, who Han calls Para, is kicking butt from out of the shadows, and he smites one creature. Smite.
That is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
I know. I love that.
They even had to write the word smite.
Yes.
I spelled it wrong, but
I guess if you're a religious figure and you hit someone, it's gonna make that smite
Yep.
sound effect.
Okay, nice.
No ka-chow, no kapow. It's a smite. Now, after the burial, Han and Chewie head for the nearest cantina, where Han picks up a blue-skinned woman with the line, What's a nice girl like you doing in a place like this?
That's very Star Trek. Picking up a blue-skinned woman.
Now, Chewie, he stays behind to grunk with a few ladies himself.
Is that Catwoman?
Okay, so this is what I mean by guys in the 70s are drawing this comic.
Hold on. Give me a second. Okay, I'm back. All right. Now, okay, Cary, this is a call out to all the cosplayers at Comicpalooza. I want to see these three women. The red, the yellow, and the blue. This has got to be a cosplay trio.
The blue.
It should.
The blue looks like it's straight out of the Galactic Star Cruiser, actually.
Yeah, I can see that too.
I can see that. She's at least covered up.
Yeah, but look at the one in the yellow. She looks like Madonna.
She does. Oh my gosh,
she's
she
Madonna
totally
in the
looks
Star
like
Wars
Madonna.
universe with a dunce cap.
Yeah,
that tracks.
She has like a unitard with a cutout
Right.
on the belly, and then she's got like pointy
Those
boobs.
pointy boob cups.
Yep. And some star like.
Oh, come on,
halter
cosplayers!
leggings.
Cosplayers, don't let us down. This just screams to be made.
I wonder who would ever.
The more
get this.
obscure, the better.
Yeah. Oh, that's how. Those are the cosplayers that really get me. You can walk by in a realistic costume, screen accurate costume. It's like, oh, okay, but you walk by me in a costume like this that's very obscure, and forget it.
Yeah.
You were page 18 in issue number 7.
Nice.
That'll be the best come on line anyone could ever say to a cosplayer.
If you even knew who they were, that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Is she? Oh my god, that's funny.
All right, from there, Han is confronted by 3 monks, it looks like, in these green robes who have a proposition. Unless, of course, you have an unfortunate aversion to dying.
That's right. All right, next issue will be called Trouble in Paradise.
Or will it?
Should we check?
Nope.
It is called 8 Against a World, at least on this cover.
Yeah, Marvel wasn't
They're
too consistent.
standing on a planet.
Yeah. Oh,
they weren't too consistent with their issue titles.
This is a cool cover, though. I really like it.
Yeah, but the cover reads, in this issue, the deadly mission of Luke Skywalker. Roy Thomas and Howard Chaykin. Do you not know who Luke Skywalker is?
Yeah, that's really funny because it's all about Han.
Where's the editor on this?
Yeah.
That's Han Solo, guys. Do you think anyone's going to read the cover? No, they'll look at the picture.
All right, well, this issue picks up where a green-skinned alien with blood-striped pants, he's ticked off that Han was talking to his blue-skinned girl, which we saw in that last issue, and Han keeps calling for Chewie for backup, but he's nowhere to be found.
I was going to ask, does everybody in the future of Galaxy Far, Far Away have pants that have that stripe on the side?
The blood stripe?
The blood stripe?
Yeah, the green alien has pants with the blood stripe, too.
Well, they're all from the military.
I guess.
They're all from the Imperial Navy.
That's a good catch.
Yeah.
They all have nice big boots, too.
All right, now, there seems to be a lot of confusion, not just with the issue titles, but someone thought to put in deleted scene Luke in here. Not too much makeup Luke. This is deleted scene Luke.
Okay.
He's got the
goggles,
the Tatooine outfit. He's got the Gilligan hat and the goggles.
Yeah. That's really funny.
Yeah.
All right, well, the alien starts a fight and starts throwing Han around the bar, and Han knocks into an alien's drink, and the alien says, "That was my drink you just knocked over, Skyboy."
Skyboy? Wait a minute.
Yeah, that sounds like Sky Guy.
Yeah.
Which is Ahsoka's name for Anakin. So, how much is that? 30 years before Ahsoka says Sky Guy?
We gotta ask Dave Filoni about this. And you see Han Solo being thrown under this table, and above you see a Planet of the Apes crossover.
Oh.
Yeah, this is right after they did their Planet of the Apes adaptations. So they're just pulling from all of their past work.
I like it.
Now, after Han gets battered around, he's thrown into the air, only to be caught by his Wookiee co-pilot. The alien attacks Chewie with no results.
Okay, I gotta say, Chewie looks much better in this issue so far.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
I totally agree.
His face is covered by fur, finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like so good here. It's like night and day.
He must have been freshly shaved in the last issue.
Right.
I think so, too.
Maybe all that grunking made his hair grow back. Now, when Chewbacca is bored by this feeble attempt, he throws him out the window with a shaboom.
Shaboom. This is a cool panel down here.
That's a very cool panel.
Wow. The green guy's upside down and his tongue's hanging out.
And one of my favorite 50s song, shaboom, shaboom. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
That they play at sunset on Cars Land.
Exactly. There you go. All right. Now, here's another instance where the artists were just confused. Now, Han turns around to someone to inquire about the job where the last issue left off. And instead of the 3 monks, there's this guy. The one who's just the Tatooine farmer outfit.
Yeah.
So there's the three monks who came to offer Han a job. And then they just somehow turned into one character. Maybe the budget was cut. We couldn't afford the green robes or 3 monks.
It's very odd. Like, why this change?
No extras that day.
No. So there's a lot of confusion over there at the Marvel offices. But, we'll look the other way.
All right. Well, this guy needs protection from...
Continuity, right?
Absolutely. All right. This guy needs protection from the devil and his men. And he is referring to Serji... What is it?
Serji-X Arrogantis.
And the Cloud Riders.
All right, time for another FTOOM Fast Fact. Serji-X, he was based on the renowned artist Serji Arrogantis. He was a DC artist and creator of Gru the Wanderer. Cary, you a fan of Gru the Wanderer?
I am a fan of Gru the Wanderer, and this is a weird lead back to Comicpalooza because Stan Sakai, who was the original letterer for Gru the Wanderer.
Oh, no kidding.
Wow.
The circle is now complete.
Amazing.
I think most fans know Serji for his marginals, which were the little cartoons in the Mad magazines, that little cartoons in the margins of the main panels.
He also did the animation. I can't remember the name of that show back in the 80s. It was there's little characters that were Sergio Aragonis
was that him?
Yes.
That was like the bloopers and practical jokes with Dick Clark and Ed McMahon?
Yes.
Just when you said that image popped in my head.
Yep.
I can see that. It's right there.
Oh, my gosh.
Sergi gets around.
Yeah, and he also has a very distinct look.
Oh, yeah. You don't say.
And it just begs to be used as a comic book character, like with his big mustache.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so, yeah, this is so cute. And later he would write Dark Horse's Star Wars Tales. And he illustrated the Star Wars Galactic Phrasebook and Travel Guide, and then also did some other titles for Dark Horse, including Sergio Aragonis Stomps Star Wars.
That is so Mad Magazine.
That's very cute.
I remember this. Oh, yeah.
And
he did Destroys the Marvel Universe at one point, too.
Oh, my gosh. Stomps Star Wars. Okay, Stomps the Marvel Universe. Interesting.
Yeah, but
cool.
This his look. Go back to his look. This guy just begs to be a comic book character.
That's really great.
That's a riot.
To go back to the cover of that Stomp Star Wars, that little character down below, that's the guy from that blooper show.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, with a little Mario mustache.
His little caricature of himself that he did.
I love that.
All right, now back to the story. Every year at this time, Sergi and his gang come down from the hills to exact tributes from the village in the way of stealing supplies and their wives and daughters.
Again, written in the 70s.
Yeah, the farmer doesn't have much money, but he can offer Han and Chewie food and shelter. So at this point, Han needs a gang, so the vetting and hiring process begins.
Now, this comic is all about gathering these 8 for Aduba.
Yes.
So let's get into it. First of all, we have Hedgie. And he's a porcupine-like spiner with a green Doctor Strange cape, and he uses his quills as deadly weapons.
All right, he's in.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and I do have to say here that Han, he's taken up space in an office and he's interviewing people, and he decides for some reason that he wants to take his shirt off.
Yes.
Because he knows who's coming next. A Mesa Fox train. And this is why he's shirtless. Han thought that Mesa would come in first.
Uh-huh.
It's like, oh man, I'm really awkward right now in front of Hedgie. But I gotta push on with this. So Mesa Fox Train, she's a sultry mercenary, den mother of the Black Hole Gang, and an old fling of Han's.
Of course. Yeah, and she asks, "Why Solo? Don't you want to see if I've still got away with a blaster?"
I've never heard innuendo so on the nose as this.
He's already got his shirt off, so.
Yeah, she's not wearing much.
No, they're halfway there.
Oh my god.
So guess what? She's in.
Yep. All right, here also we have Don Juan Quixote, and he prays to join the holy mission so he can continue to be worthy of the name Jedi Knight. Wow.
And Han thinks he's nuts. And for some reason, all right, you're in. Now, Cary, who does he look like to you?
I don't know. I mean, it's on the tip of my tongue, but what are you trying to get?
I'm thinking Vincent Price.
Oh well, yeah.
I can see that.
You have Peter Cushing in Star Wars, and I think the Marvel writers we could use Christopher Lee, but would he ever be in Star Wars? Let's go with Vincent Price.
Vincent Price with a goatee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, spitting image to me.
I love it.
Now, also in the mix is Jim Doshun, also known as the Star Killer Kid, or as I call him, Discount Deleted Scene Luke Kid.
Right.
Absolutely.
He's Temu Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and once again, they were looking at the deleted footage in the photographs and said, "Hey, they didn't use this Luke. We're gonna use this Luke. We want him with a Gilligan hat."
And that robot looks like from Futurama.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
This is Effie.
That's Effie.
And he's a tractor droid with an attitude, and he doesn't want to be viewed as being owned by Jim. Yeah.
Yeah. He's got the very self-righteous attitude later seen in K2SO and Rogue One.
Don't ask him to hold anything.
No. He'll drop it and run over it. Now, Han sees use for a robot, so he lets them both in. Doesn't call him a droid, calls him a robot.
Ooh.
All right, you guys are in. All right, everyone rise. Last but not least is Jaxxon.
Yeah.
This is the green-furred rabbit-like leppy with a mean disposition. Now, when the green-skinned alien who roughed up Han earlier tries to cut in front of Jaxxon, and then calls Jaxxon a rodent? Well, this sets Jaxxon off the way calling Marty McFly a chicken in Back to the Future did. And Jaxxon gives him a hard ka-chop!
His leg extends, too. It's like Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it totally does.
After seeing this, Han brings him into the mix.
Yep, of course.
Now, Han does call him a rabbit, which makes rabbits canon.
Oh, like ducks.
We have Sunday school, and we have rabbits, and like they mentioned in the Star Wars novelization, ducks.
Yep.
Ducks and rabbits are now canon. And in my opinion, Jaxxon is a clear standout of all the Marvel created Star Wars characters.
I mean, how could he not be? He's in a nice red suit. It's green. He's a bunny. And FTOOM Fast Fact. You may know one of Jackson's descendants, Bucky O'Hare.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, do you know him, Cary?
I do. One of the hardest NES games ever made.
Oh, Super Nintendo. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, he was seen in comics and toys and the video game.
Yep. Also an animated series that was created by Star Wars writer Larry Hama and artist Michael Golden. All right, well, as Han reflects on how Jim reminds him of Luke, the story then segues to the fourth moon of Yavin, where Luke and his droids are setting out on a mission to find a new rebel base. And Princess Leia really wants to go with him, but General Dodonna tells her she has to stay there as a leader and a symbol of the rebellion.
Her buns are much bigger here.
Yeah.
Hey, Cary, this is a children's show, okay? What are you talking about? Oh,
sorry.
The hair buns, I got it.
They were drawn that way.
Now, Luke here looks great.
He does look a lot like Mark Hamill.
Yeah, but this
post-car accident.
Leia does not look like Carrie Fisher here.
No, but I guess this is what they meant on the cover by the deadly mission of Luke Skywalker. We'll give him 3 panels, and off we go.
Yeah. And then Luke has some inner thoughts here of Ben, Han, and Darth Vader. And I guess because he only saw Vader for a few brief seconds, he forgot Vader had a red lightsaber and not a yellow one.
They keep giving all the characters yellow lightsabers in the toys and the comics.
Yeah.
Maybe it only turns red when he's really angry.
Well, technically.
Oh, it's like a mood lightsaber.
Yeah.
Mood lightsaber.
From the 70s. I love it. All right. Luke then starts to think about Han and how Han saved him from Darth Vader. And then, how Han has a good heart. And then the story then segs back to Han Solo. So that's pretty neat.
Yeah, what Marvel did here was very interesting. When we left the Han Solo storyline, Han was thinking of Luke when he was speaking with Jim, the discount deleted Luke. Then that segued into the Luke storyline. Then as Luke was thinking of Han, segued back into the Han storyline. I really love that technique, and I give Marvel a lot of credit for that.
Nice.
Right now, the next morning, Han and Chewie have their Star Hopper crew ready to rock when Serji-X and his gang of Cloud Riders show up.
Oh, here they come in the background, and then bam, here they are. Oof.
Yeah, and Serji says to forget the farmers, he can offer a minimum sum to Han.
A minimal sum.
Minimal
yes.
sum.
Yeah.
But he never says for what.
Honestly, like the sum, the discount farmer came and said, hey, we'll pay you. He never says how much. And then Serji comes and says, oh, I'll pay you. Never says how much. I want to know how much we're working with here.
Yeah, how does he know what the farmer offered?
Yeah, I don't know. But Han, to his credit, he says no deal. And I feel like this is really showing Han's growth over the course of the first film that we just saw him in, because only a smuggler with a heart of gold would not take any money offered and run and not do the work. Like he's being offered money to do the work.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would have been like last week.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he really wants to help the society from a perceived threat. Kind of the Cinderella story, right?
Mm-hmm.
No matter the cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now here, Serji and the gang leave, but not without the warning. What does Serji sound like? If you persist, you will soon be nothing. Just one more lifeless corpse twisting in the desert wind. That's very poetic of him.
That was very poetic.
Yeah, does that sound more like a Serji-X?
I don't know. Cary, you want to try?
I'm not going to give it a try, but I'm good with that.
Yeah, there you go. Just, yeah. I'm
very
happy with this Serji-X voice.
Okay, I love it. All right. Well, so ends the first half of the story with a promise of the next title, Showdown on a Barren World.
Okay, will they stick with it? Nope. The next issue, issue 9, starts with a semi-altered title. Instead of Showdown on a Barren World, it's been changed to Showdown on a Wasteland World. We'll give them that. They're getting better at this.
Yeah.
Close.
Yeah.
They just need to look at the last panel of every issue.
Yes, no kidding. And then see like, oh, wait, we had monks come to
Aduba 3.
Yeah.
And now we'll reduce them to a moisture farmer.
It's very odd.
Yeah, guys, people are going to be dissecting this in 47 years on a podcast. Get your act together. All right, now, Han and the Starhoppers are making their way through a rocky canyon. And Don Juan is now wearing a full suit of classic knight armor and holding a lance.
He's taking Jedi Knight to
a whole new level.
This
oh
is
my God.
so funny. And I mean, if you think about it, at this point, we didn't know what Jedi Knights looked like.
They didn't look like that.
Well,
That's safe to say.
But the Marvel comics, the artists heard knight, and I'm sure this is what was in their head. And
Take me a little too literally.
Yeah, it's very, very much. But it was
couldn't afford to buy clothes for the female.
No, for Amaza.
Yeah,
poor Amaza has just this tiny little red bikini. Wow.
I'm happy with that.
All right. Well, I ain't cosplaying her. All right.
Okay, Cary, that's gonna be you and me.
All right. Han sees a bird.
I'm good.
All right, Han sees bird-like creatures in the distance, and Jim tells him that they are bloodthirsty scavengers called High Hounds, and these shrieking quasi-humans descend on the village and go for the maize stalks. So the Starhoppers are put into action right away to defend the village. They're earning their keep, and in the middle of this great struggle, Jaxxon comes on to Amaza. Of course. And he says, hey, how about a possible team up? I got a hunch we could make beautiful blaster music together.
Once again, another t-shirt that needs to be made. You know what? I want to hear this by everyone at Comicpalooza. Okay?
I want to hear blaster music.
Cary, that sounds like homework for you.
It's just grindcore. It's just super fast.
I think that's a very good approachable line to someone at a convention. I think it shows where they are in fandom, and it's like, hey, I'm putting this out there.
Okay.
All right, now, as a High Hound targets a young bikini-clad girl.
Another bikini-clad girl.
Which I'm happy with.
Just saying.
Han storms in on a bantha and rescues the damsel in distress and says, maybe this place is worth saving after all.
Han, what about Leia? But I guess at this point they're not.
Leia hasn't been wearing her bikini yet. He hasn't seen her on Saturday Night Live in her gold bikini.
Well, she's got a very tight-fitting dress in these comics, though. Leia does.
Very much so. Now, knowing they are beaten, the High Hounds retreat, and the girl that Han saved is Mary. She's the daughter of Ancho, the village spokesperson.
All right. Meanwhile,
back
at the Rebel base, Princess Leia is concerned for Luke and wishes she could have gone with him.
Now, there's a meanwhile and a meanwhile.
Yes.
This is the first. Luke and the droids have come upon an unnamed planet in the Drexel system. As Luke is sending a transmission to Leia, he suddenly exclaims, "No, it is impossible. It. And just then, the transmission cuts out. Fearing he is in trouble, Leia races out to save her friend. In a way no body can ever be contorted.
No. Yeah, what is she doing there?
I think it's the beginning of a run. I don't know.
She's yogaing.
Like again, I'm not a Chaikin apologist.
All right, now back on Aduba 3, Mary's shaman grandfather tells Han that he and his companions are not needed here. He then speaks of a mystical solution he once beheld in his youth.
Yeah, so he's thinking to use this mystical solution instead
of... No spoilers just yet.
Okay.
Now, it's not long before Serji-X and the Cloud Riders descend on the village with blasters ablazing.
Some of these panels are really great.
They
are poster-worthy art.
Or t-shirt.
Or t-shirt worthy, yes.
Okay.
And then some, not so much.
Not so much. Yeah, but this...
That's Chewbacca. That needs to be a t-shirt.
I was going to say, juxtapose this Serji-X with his gun blaster blazing right next to that poor Chewbacca that no one can tell is Chewbacca.
All right, now, before we go on with this next part, I just got to apologize, okay?
Okay.
All right, so Serji demands their tribute and says, and that includes the cream of your crop... Oh, I got to do it in Sergi voice. And that includes the cream of your crop who just reached the age I like them. With that, he calls out Mary. On behalf of Marvel and of Skywalking Through Neverland and the Metal Geeks Podcast, we're sorry.
That does not age well.
No, not whatsoever.
It's terrible.
Back in '77, that shouldn't have aged well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move past this.
All right.
Han and the Starhoppers begin firing back, and Han thinks to himself, right now, I sure wish we had some of that Force I keep hearing about. Really? That is not the Han Solo I know from Star Wars. The one who called the Force a hokey religion, and it was simple tricks and nonsense.
Yeah.
I don't think Roy Thomas had seen Star Wars at this point.
I mean, at this point, Han would have seen Luke fire, use the Force to
proton
fire
torpedoes,
the proton torpedo.
And seeing him practice with the lightsaber on the Millennium Falcon, but still, right now, it's still too early for him to be believing in the Force.
Yeah. Okay.
It's true.
This is the time in comics where a lot of exposition was done with people thinking to themselves.
Yeah, a lot
Absolutely.
of inner monologues.
Yeah.
Inner monologues. That's right.
Now, during the battle in chaos, Effie, the droid you love to hate, steps in front of a blast meant for his partner Jim and is destroyed with a bazak.
Aww.
A moment of silence for Effie.
The poor thing. All right, here the Starhoppers then take another casualty as Don Juan Quixote comes to the aid of a Mesa, and a Cloud Rider races in and blasts the Jedi Knight from behind with a...
Kazash! No!
All right, and now the Knight, he speaks very knightly.
Farewell, comely damsel, at least you shall live.
I mean, you would think that
armor
is pretty heavy. It would protect him from a blast like that.
Yeah, you'd think
Why
so.
else wear it?
Yeah, and I don't think he could walk very fast.
Right.
He's a very old gentleman, and wearing a suit like that, I'm not sure he could walk any quicker to get out of that blast range.
So now, with 2 of the 8 down, Mary's shaman grandfather then raises his arms and calls out, "Hear me, slumbering one, emerge from your bedchambers of stone. Ooh. Save us, whose ancestors once worshipped you."
And the carnage of battle continues. Serji-X Arrogantis and his surly band occupy second place in Han Solo's priorities. Quite obviously, the real battle is yet to begin.
Because out of the rocks comes this...
Behemoth.
Behemoth.
Behemoth-Zilla.
Yeah.
Beast. So this is the end of part 3. Next issue, it says Day of the Behemoth. All right, what do you think?
Do they get it right?
I don't know.
I don't think they got it right.
Let's see.
Let's see.
What do you
Let's
think?
see.
What do you? Well, wait. Hold on. Hold on. Before we get to the Day of the Behemoth, part 9 ends with this exquisite pinup of Han,
Poster art.
Luke.
Exquisite is definitely a word.
Chewie and Leia, I think.
It's excruciating, is what it is. This is quite possibly the worst poster I've ever seen. It looks like the end of a sitcom. You know, like
the freeze frame.
Yeah, the freeze frame
The
at the end of a
80s freeze
sitcom.
frame.
And for some reason, Leia's like laying on the floor, sitting on the floor.
Chewbacca's put on a few pounds there too.
Yeah.
Looks like the
He's
Sasquatch from $6 Million Man.
He's widened a little bit.
Yeah, and Luke has this like silly grin on.
However, I gotta say, Howard Chaykin's his illustration here, except for Leia, better matches the actors than what we had seen in this comic. Look at Chewie. Look at Chewie. That is a great rendition of Chewbacca.
I don't think you're right.
I mean, okay, in comparison with what we've seen in the issue. All right, so take that in before we move on.
All right, so the previous issue promised Day of the Behemoth.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see, did Marvel stick with it?
Nope.
It's called The Behemoth from Below.
Yeah, they got one word right.
Yeah. I do think this title has a better ring to it.
Yeah,
The Behemoth from Below.
And this is the issue written by Donald F. Glut.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, and he once
wrote
again
the
wrote the
Empire
Empire
Strikes Back novelization, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
All right, now the story continues as Behemothzilla tears out of the mountain. Using an energy beam that emits from the top of his head, the beast destroys every Cloud Rider in its way. It ignores Han and the others since it was summoned only to kill the enemy.
Now, I have a question. Godzilla, he like had energy from his mouth?
He had the
energy beam.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. But this guy has energy from his
from somewhere
head.
on top of his head. They don't really show you where. It just suddenly emits from the top of his head.
Okay. Now, all right. Suddenly, Don Juan Quixote reappears.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Didn't we just see him go down the last issue?
We did, but Cary was right. His armor saved him from the Cloud Rider's blast.
Yeah, we never saw his body hit the ground.
Yep.
So, you know what? That tracks.
Good job, Cary.
But
asterisk, see last issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does say that right there. Oh my goodness.
Now I want to see Effie come back. and so begins characters dying and coming back in the Marvel Universe.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with most of his gang dead and knowing there's no way of bringing the Behemoth down, Serji comes up with an idea. If he kills the shaman who's controlling the beast, he may come out of this alive. So he dives right for the old man. He's almost in range. He's almost there, and splat.
The Behemoth steps on both Serji-X, King Kong style, and he also steps on the shaman and kills him.
Okay, but
the guy who's controlling him.
Which one is which? Is Serji the splat or is Serji the womp? Cary, what do you say?
Well, Sergey was on that. He was on a bike, so maybe he was more of the womp.
Okay. See, I would go with Serji starts with an S, so he's the splat.
Okay.
But that's just me.
They're both splat. It's okay.
Yeah.
And the shaman starts with a W? Also starts with an S.
I don't know. But now there's no one who's controlling the Behemoth, and the creature has now gone rogue. So Han decides it's time. He pulls everyone together and announces that the only way to kill the monster is if they all work together. Now, this is a really cool panel. I love this. This is all, 8 of them? 7 of them? 7.
There's 7, yeah.
7 of them.
We're one down.
Oh, yes, the
Effie.
droid.
Yeah.
Effie died.
Well, hold on. What happened to Jim Luke, his pants?
Jim?
Discount deleted scene Luke. Hey, Jim. I don't want
Jim lost his pants.
So, hey, if Amazia doesn't have to wear pants, why do I have to wear pants?
If you're not wearing knight armor, you're wearing a bikini bottom, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think we've seen his
Jaxxon.
lower half earlier, because this just takes me right out of the frame. Even Jaxxon is like, I want no part of this.
Yeah. Well, Chewie's not wearing any clothes, so.
He didn't skip leg day, though. That's for sure.
Oh,
All right,
my
now
goodness.
the creature shoots his head beam at them, but Cary, does that look like it's coming from his head or another part of his body?
He looks like he's relieving himself.
See, Sarah and I went around in circles on this one.
I was like, where? Well, because my job was to find the pictures of the panels that you had made notes on.
And I said,
I'm like, I don't know what panel you're referring
unless
to.
you're a guy, you won't see what we're seeing.
That's even scarier. If it,
Yeah, that was coming from both ends.
Oh boy. All right. Well, meanwhile, we have to catch up with Princess Leia and what's happening with her.
Where's she?
So she's on her way to find Luke, and the last time she heard from him, he had seen something presumably terrible, and then the communication was lost. So
last issue.
Last
See,
issue.
last issue. Yep.
Indeed. So now she wishes Han Solo was here to help out. And that's it. That's all we hear from Princess
that's all I
Leia.
get. All right.
Because we're back to the Behemoth battle. And the brave Jedi Knight that he is, Don Juan, he takes a licking and keeps on ticking because he leads the creature away from the others. And his lightsaber starts interfering with the accuracy of the creature's head laser. And the closer the Jedi gets with his laser sword, the crazier the Behemoth acts. And I really like this panel here that's showing, like, it's
There's a swoosh.
There's a swoosh of the lightsaber, and behind the lightsaber swoosh, the creature looks like he's even more pixelated, like dot pixelated from the comic book. It's kind of a neat effect in a comic.
Well done.
Yeah. Chewbacca then gets the idea and picks up Han and races toward Don Juan. Han sees what Chewie's plan is as they sprint toward the old Jedi. Han snatches the yellow-bladed lightsaber and runs toward the creature. All right, look at this panel. Do you think Lucas saw Han with a lightsaber and thought, we need to see Han Solo with a lightsaber in The Empire Strikes Back? And boom, there we are.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
Do you see how much impact these Marvel comics have on future films?
I wonder if George ever read these.
Well, he did because he didn't like Jaxxon. Yeah.
Why not, though? He's so cute.
Han then hurls himself towards the creature and plunges the lightsaber right into its torso. The behemoth rises in pain as its body begins to glow from within.
Yes.
All right, now we cut to the aftermath, where the last fading image of the behemoth is swept away by the winds of Aduba 3. All right, I'm going to call it cheat. This is a cheat moment because they built all this up with a behemoth.
Yeah, right.
And we don't even see him explode like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Right, so we see the behemoth start to begin to glow.
And then we see the aftermath.
Yeah.
And Chewie Bronx again.
Chewie, and I'm going to call it shenanigans.
Frank.
Yo, he fronks. Even Chewie's like, hey, you know what? We need to see this thing just blow apart.
Mm-hmm.
Pixar didn't happen.
Yeah. Well, instead we get this yellow mist. Is that supposed to be the creature?
The aftermath of the energy from within. But still, I call shenanigans.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry.
All right, from here, the story takes a weird turn. These 3 panels from the end.
Okay.
Mary starts flirting with Jim, which totally confuses him since she never even looked at him twice.
Doesn't that feel like a Monkeys episode? Bringing it back to the Monkeys.
Oh my gosh! Where everyone always flirts with
Davy.
Davy.
Yeah. So Jim is the Davy Jones of this episode of this issue.
Poor Han.
Who is Han Solo then?
Han is
Peter.
I would say Mike, the leader.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay.
Then Mary gives Mike Nesmith, or Han, a peck on the cheek and thanks him for saving their village.
And also bringing out the man in the Starkiller Kid.
Did we miss those panels too? Are we missing some pages? Are we missing some pages here?
I think because Jim stepped up and fought, like a man for his village, I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we'll go with that.
He'll be a man later.
She'll make him a man later. Oh boy.
Yeah, everyone is confused. Han, the Starkiller Kid, the readers.
Yep.
But then Han thinks to himself, so I didn't get the girl. Who cares? She was kind of young anyway. See, Han does have morals, okay? And he's got a deep desire not to go to jail.
No. All right. Then Han thinks to himself, and if only for a minute. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, I get this. And if only for a minute, I got a little feeling of what it's like to be a Jedi Knight.
How?
Hey, Han, have you never seen Star Wars? Do you remember your dialogue?
That's so weird.
You thought they were old
it's a
wizards.
hokey religion.
Yeah. That doesn't track.
Mm-mm.
Han's got morals. We'll end with that, because this is really the end.
Of this first story arc.
Yeah, but if you want to see more of these characters, Marvel returns to Aduba 3 with the Starhoppers in issue 16, The Hunter, with Valance the Hunter.
Yay.
The end.
Isn't that character a current Star Wars character?
Yes, he is.
Valance
I forgot
the
that he
Hunter.
was introduced so long ago.
Yeah, in Bounty Hunters, the actual new series from Marvel. It's been going. It's not even new. It's a couple of years old.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And there's Jaxxon on the cover with his Jaxxon disembodied head. Yeah. Is he the only one that comes back from the?
No, the rest.
Oh, they do. Okay.
Yeah, but Jaxxon is the most recognizable.
Of course.
So, Cary, after reading this story arc, what are your impressions of the first expanded Star Wars story?
Should have consulted with George. It's not bad. It's late 70s comic writing, they probably didn't have much to go with. They probably saw the movie and they're like, hey, continue the story and do what you want. And how would they know?
Yeah.
Right.
It's like some of the old non-canon novels, because they had those old Han Solo novels and the Lando novels and all that kind of stuff, and it's not canon now.
Right.
I think, like we said earlier, that Marvel was taking a little bit of a Akira Kurosawa. They thought they were heading in the right direction, and they went one Jaxxon too far.
So I get major vibes of, I believe it's the Mandalorian season 2. Is it the Village? Episode where
I got Mandalorian vibes for sure.
Yeah, Mandalorian and Cara Dune.
Yeah,
and
they
Grogu.
come into that village and help them.
You mentioned something earlier about Filoni. I think Filoni is such a nerd about Star Wars. He probably has pulled influences and facts from everywhere. He probably read all these comics and like, I'm going to pull that type of that scenario and that character and that. He did. He's such
we know for
fanboy.
sure that Lucasfilm has pulled from not only the Marvel comics, but also the Ewoks and Droids animated series.
That's right.
And Jake Kasdan.
Isn't it John?
Yeah. He loved the idea of the Cloud Riders and their name, that he used them in Solo, a Star Wars story. They're not the same characters, but he loved the name Cloud Riders. So he just yanked that part of the Marvel comics and used it. And he even admitted to that on social media. Since we've been doing the classic Marvel Star Wars comics, we've been pulling references out that, hey, okay, this has got to be a reference to something they pull from, if they pull in the future for the comics.
Yeah, I love that. And like Dave Filoni's done that too, plucking stuff out of the books, like Thrawn.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a huge example.
So in every classic Marvel issue, an episode, we'll say, and look out for these foreshadowing references.
The FTOOM Fast Facts.
Mm-hmm. So, Cary, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you had as much fun as we did.
I did. It was fun to relive these stories. I'm going to have to, I know all this stuff is probably on Marvel Unlimited.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to have to go back and reread all this stuff because I don't want to pull all my old comics out. It's too much.
Yeah, me too. It's all Marvel Unlimited. All right,
Yep.
So anyone going to Comicpalooza, you're going to see an extended version of this. We'll be going into the legacy of these characters and stories, and some excerpts from the Star Wars column. Ooh. That's where the fans could write into Marvel and place their satisfaction or dissatisfaction with the storylines.
And Marvel replies to them, and it's pretty hilarious.
It's Twitter for the 1970s.
Yes. It's the way for trolls to troll back in the 70s.
Yes. One letter at a time. So, Cary, if anyone wants to reach out and talk to you on social media and ask you about the Metal Geek Podcast, where do they go?
So our website is metalgeeks.net. We're just putting out a new episode today. You can find us in all the places where you download your podcast. We're on Spotify and Apple and all those good places. At Metal Geeks on all the socials. Just come have fun. If you're on Facebook, we have the Metal Geek Society where we talk about all that stuff. Our show we're heavy metal fans that talk about geeky topics. And that's what it is. If that describes you, we have a place for you.
Great show. So we're gonna see you in a couple of weeks now.
We're gonna see you in a couple of weeks in Comicpalooza. So I'm excited for it. May 24th to 26th in Houston. Memorial Day weekend, which is that following Monday at the George R. Brown Convention Center. Like we talked about at the top of the show, so much fun stuff to do. If you're a Back to the Future fan, if you want to come see John Cena for real, not fake, you can see him. He'll be there on Sunday.
Okay, how many envelopes will he get to sign?
I don't know, but if I never hear I can't see the John Cena joke again, I'll be happy.
Very much so. All right, with that, we got one word to say. Ka-chop!
Forp!
FTOOM!
Pow.
Well, that wraps up episode 464 of
Skywalking Through Neverland.
We want to thank Cary Gordon and all of you Skywalkers who listen every week. And please, please, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Grab someone's phone by you and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just search Skywalking Through Neverland on YouTube.
And your phone will give you those notifications when we're going live at the spur of the moment.
Yeah. Well, are you interested in our books? We have autographed copies available of Today in Star Wars History, Parts 1 and 2, and Skywalking Through My Fandom. We will also be going to several conventions in the near future, and to get all the info on those dates, including this weekend, starting this weekend, just head to our website, skywalkingthrough-neverland.com, and look for the event calendar tab. You'll get all the details right there.
Now, do you want to support Skywalking Through Neverland in other ways? Well, consider supporting us through the Skywalking Force, which is our Patreon. The Skywalking Force has access to bonus content in the form of our Zoom discussions on the latest Disney Plus shows, and we have special surprises every now and then from the Disney parks.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And this bonus content starts at only $5 a month. So head over there to skywalkingforce.com and have a look at all the options. And thank you to those who are already part of the Skywalking Force.
Now, we would also love to thank our sponsor, Small World Vacations, for their support. Are you thinking of a trip to a Disney park? It looks like Christopher Marino is. He's heading to Tokyo Disney Sea. That's so exciting.
Well.
In June, well, I hope you called Small World Vacations. Their vacation planning service is free of charge. So head to smallworldvacations.com and check it out and tell them that Skywalking Through Neverland sent you.
Now, we are part of the Skywalking Network.
Skynet.
Where you can find other great shows like Talking Apes. And we just put out an episode today where we reviewed Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. And we want to know your thoughts on the film and The Lawgiver.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. We also have the Max Effects podcast,
the Neverland Clubhouse,
Totally Tell Me Everything,
Star Warsologies,
and the YouTube shows Collectopolis, which just put out a WonderCon 2024 episode, and
Today in Star Wars History.
You can find us on social media. We are at Skywalking Pod nearly everywhere. And also you can search YouTube and Facebook for Skywalking Through Neverland, and we will pop right up. You can also email us, share@skywalkingthrough-neverland.com. There are a few of you who like to email us after every episode that you listen to, which is very cool, and give your thoughts. So we love that.
Now, don't forget to stick around for bloopers and other fun bits that didn't make it into the show. And
always remember
to FTOOM, to Crunk, and
Neverland on Alderaan. So I'm going to need you to do the clappy claps this week.
Clappy claps coming your way.
What are the Taylor Swift, the Swifties?
The Swifties, yeah.
Trekkies. The Star Wars fans. Do Star Wars fans really have?
No, we really don't.
No.
People have tried to like the Star Warriors.
Yeah.
Or the Wars.
It doesn't really lend itself.
No.
It's kind of like the name Sarah. You can't really make that a
However,
nickname.
when I was young, my sister had a friend named Sarah. I called her Sasa.
No.
There was a glitch. Why don't you do it again? There was a glitch in the audio.
Okay, I'll do it again.
There was I don't control the glitches, okay? I see the waves, and there's a big glitch right there.
Here we go. All right. I love those hoojibs.
All right, now let's give a summary.
Who
the hoojibs?
Who? Little hoojibs. Aw.
Hey, look at those names to the left. They are part of the Skywalking Force, our Patreon.
Become a producer yourself and check out all the Disney Plus themed bonus content available depending on the level you subscribe.
Become a member of the elite Skywalking Force at skywalkingforce.com.